So Alhamdulillah, Ramzan is all about sharing. Remember to not only just cook and eat yourself, but to remember your loved ones, your neighbors, your friends, your family, and share generously. Alhamdulillah, it's all barakat in sharing. So Alhamdulillah, I have cooked and I have sent to a few of my neighbors, and now almost ready for iftar ourselves. I hope you make and enjoy food like this because it's all healthy. Apart from the frying, we've used everything natural ingredients, wholesome ingredients, and tried to keep minimal oil as possible. That's basically, oil is a real killer and it's a very big illness with cholesterol and so on in our families. Try to cut down as much of the fat as possible and try and, home cooked foods far better than any off the counter, on the counter recipes and those frozen packs that you get. So Alhamdulillah, try and invest your time and effort into making these beautiful foods and enjoying them, especially at times of iftari and during this festive time. Assalamualaikum. So we're preparing a mixture for making samosas. Basically all I've done is cut up thin slices of onions and place them in the pan, and to this I'm going to add some minced meat. This is a mixed minced meat which I'm just going to add to this. Thank you. Okay, and then we're just going to add a little bit of water and no oil or anything. Now this is a recipe that somebody's actually requested, some healthy recipes for Ramzan, and to be honest, I have been away from cooking and from everything else for a while, from sewing as well, because I have had a few illnesses in the family. So remember us in your duas. I wish everyone a very happy and blessed Ramzan. I have been very occupied lately. My mum was ill, hospitalized twice in the last month, and then I've had issues with my own health, and then I've had issues with my husband's health. So it's been a little bit of testing time. Anyway, life goes on. So the thing that I would like to say about, there's plenty of recipes online for making samosas and for doing lots of other cooking and so on. Now personally, I don't like buying the ready-made stuff. I prefer to do my own cooking, and the best way to know what is healthy is by knowing what you're placing in the pot yourself. A lot of the stuff that we buy ready-made, we don't know what's been used and the kind of ingredients that have been added. This way you are sure of the kind of meat that you're buying, the kind of rest of the ingredients. So the best form of cooking is the one that you do yourself, because you know exactly what you've placed in your pot. So in this pot, all I've done is just placed some thinly sliced onions and some mince, and then to this I'm gonna add a mixture of garlic, chilies, a couple of tomatoes, some ginger, and I've basically blended it in a pot just to make it small and break it up. So I'm going to add quite a bit of this to, just going to leave a little bit that I want to add to my kebab mixture, but the rest of it.
Everyone knows how to make kebab.
Do you think so? Well, there we are. We've got Anaya telling us that everybody knows how to make kebab, and it's very true. Everybody probably does know how to make kebab, but we all have our own methods and ways of making things. So this, I'm just going to let...
Is that different? It might be different on this one.
No, this is going to be samosas.
Oh.
No.
Not that many people know how to make samosas.
I don't know. I think a lot.
Remember, people don't care,
She didn't know how to make them.
Shad, never even had pancakes before.
Oh. Did you know your friends? They said they hate me. Their friends now.
Oh, they hate you?
Yeah, Tyber and Jassia. You know, in bottom primary school.
They don't even know you, so how can they hate you? Now, cooking meat, it tends to have like a sort of not such a nice smell if you don't fry the onions and add the meat. But the thing is, I want to avoid frying the onions and adding any oil to this. I want to make it as dry and as healthy as possible. So the way to get rid of that smell is really, we're going to do it with the spices and so on. But once the meat starts cooking, this ginger and the garlic and everything else will get rid of the smell. Now what I'm going to do is just basically cover this up, let it simmer down, and let the onions and soften up, and then add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, so once you've got it fried to sort of like this stage, I want to add the peas and the potatoes. These are Cypress potatoes, which I actually like to choose the best of things. Having a shop, that gives you an advantage. So they're nicely diced potatoes and peas. Just let the mixture blend in and just cover it and let it cook. Let the potatoes soften up, the peas cook up, and then we're just going to add the spices and let it cool down. So this is like fresh, wholesome ingredients, and there's nothing in there that's anything like, you know, that's not healthy. Best of all, there's no oil or anything in this, and that's the worst part. That, you know, you have the samosas fried in oil, but then you have, you know, obviously you can do it with the pastry, that's fine, but when you actually even add oil to the mixture as well, that just, and it's seeping out, and that's, I really don't like that, and it's not healthy. Try and cut out as much oil as possible from your food, and that's really the best of the healthy options that I can suggest. And that looks scrumptious. I'm just gonna cover this and let it cook. You can add a little bit of water if you think that it's gonna stick, or turn the heat down slightly and let it just cook in its.
There's a massive puddle here. Now I've got a bad cough.
Yeah, so once the mixture is ready and the potatoes are almost cooked, soft enough, and all the water has dried out, I left this cooking on a low heat for about half an hour. Add the dry ingredients, which are chili powder, paprika and turmeric, some ground coriander, some ground some ground zira and salt, and add all that to the pan and give that a good stir, and then leave it on a low heat for about another 5 minutes, just to let all that flavour seep into the mixture. I'm going to put a lid on this. If you want to add some fresh coriander, add it at this stage. Cover it with the lid and just let it sit for about 5 minutes, and let all that flavour seep into the mixture. And then let it cool down completely. Let it uncover the lid and let it just cool down completely, so that it's really nice and cold. And prepare your dough mixture. Now for the dough mixture, I'm going to use plain flour, a little bit of salt, about how much? About half a cup of oil and about a cup of milk, and knead that in a machine, preferably in a machine because it's a lot easier. It needs plenty of kneading, and also set that to a side. Sort of make it reasonable consistency so it's easy enough to roll out. Leave that to simmer for a few minutes. So now we're going to make the chapatis to make the samosas. I've already done a few, but just give you some guidelines on what we're going to do. We're just going to sprinkle some flour on our board, get a small amount and make that into a round circle. Yeah, and I've got an audience here. My grandson called Musa, who's watching me. Yeah, so this one is already partially cooked.
Right.
Okay, so
now,
this ball now we're going to roll it out, and then we're going to pre-cook this. So we're going to pre-cook all of them before cutting them in half and filling them up.
See, that's the door. See.
Do you want to just go and open the door?
Okay. I'm back again.
Are you back again?
Do
you want to introduce yourself? You want to come here and then you can say hello? No, you're shy. Then you can tell your mom I'm on YouTube too. We're going to shake the excess flour off. Okay, this is Musa. This is Musa, who's being very shy. Musa is from Manchester. He's come to visit me today. Okay, so we're going to cook the next one.
Off? This one falling off?
Sorry?
Falling off, this one?
No.
Why is it breathing? Is it just that?
Oh, it's the door again.
What?
So we're going to cook all these chapatis, and then once they're all cooked, we're going to chop them up and fill them up with the mixture. So we're going to take the partly cooked chapatis, chop this in half, and in a spare cup what I've done is just mixed some flour and water and made this into like a thick gluey pastry just to cover the edges with. Now you take the half, place it in on top of your fingertips and glue the one side and then just overlap like such, then hold it open in a cone and fill up with a reasonable amount of mixture, not too much, don't overfill it. Then apply the gluey mixture to the edges and close up. Now when you cook the chapatis, make sure not to overcook them. Leave them very mildly cooked so that there's still the tenderness inside the chapati, and that's basically it. And just place this to a side. Keep making these until they're all completed, ready for the deep frying. So there we are. Just glue the outer side like this. Hold the cone like such. Place the mixture inside. Lightly think the edges. Glue together the edges. And you can squash this down with a fork if you think that it's not holding together. sometimes the edges don't stick together, and if that's the case, just lightly press them down with the fork. Okay, so we're now deep frying the samosas. These are in a large kadai. We've just warmed up the oil, and hopefully if the oil is at the right temperature, they shouldn't soak up a lot of the oil. There's no oil that's been used in the mixture itself, so I'll use a tongue to turn these over. I've not overfilled these, lightly filled them so that they're easy to eat and enjoy. We're going to serve them with some chutney. I'm just going to line the tray with some tissue paper, some kitchen foil and kitchen paper, and once these are deeply fried, I'm just going to leave them to any excess oil just to drain away. So as you can see, these are coming out absolutely beautifully. And I tell you, it's been ages since I've not made samosas. I tend to leave this to the girls now. But you know what, once it's in your system, you can never get it out. So I enjoy the occasional treat cooking. Now often when you buy the ready-made samosas, they are so oily. I tell you, the pastry is so oily and the instant mixture is so oily, and this is just going to be so nice and dry. I'm going to serve this with salad and chutney, and that's the secret. Serve them with a lot of healthy ingredients. So plenty of fresh chutney with plenty of yogurt. And if you've never tried homemade chutney, there's absolutely nothing like it. Whilst I'm frying these, I will just share a very quick, I'm not going to bother making it because I have had, my daughter-in-law has already told me that she's made some. I did put all the ingredients to a side. Fresh coriander, a couple of chilies, 1 tomato. I would have put 2 cloves of garlic in this and a pinch of salt, and then really grind this to a pulp and mix it with yogurt. A bit of mint, fresh mint leaves, and cumin, ground cumin. Add a bit of ground cumin, that adds a lot of flavour and a beautiful taste. Grind that and serve it with the samosas. And also what I would serve with this is a pickle, not a pickle, a mixture, a salad mixture made of mangoes and fresh coriander, mangoes and lime juice and pineapples. So I will be sharing that with you as well. Also, my very famous homemade salad is a must in Ramzan, and I would advise all sisters to make that and to serve it plentiful. It's so healthy, it's so nutritious, and there's nothing quite like it. So that's the final stage. I will be showing you the making of kebabs as well, inshallah. I've already prepared the mixture that's sitting in the fridge. So next up, once I've done all the samosas, we'll fry those as well. So today's menu is going to be samosas, chutney, kebab, served with pita bread and plenty of salad. And I have made enough for all the family, so hopefully it's a party at 9 tonight.